What's up, Upward people? This is Pastor Sam, and I'm so excited that I get to do the halftime devotion for your games today. And it's such a nice day out today. I don't know if you guys have been outside, but check it out. I mean, it's just, man, I can't believe this is January weather, so I figured I'd have to record this video outside. It's so nice. I couldn't avoid it. I'm walking around in the woods on this beautiful day, and I was thinking about the theme for the day, which is courage. And that's a really cool theme because I think it's important that everybody understands what courage means. And there's a way of understanding courage, I think, that you need to know about. And this is let me be a nerd for a second, okay? This is kind of weird. I know people might not have heard of this guy, but there was a philosopher whose name is Aristotle. And he lived like 4,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago. No, that's not right. Okay, I had to look it up. He lived like 2,500 years ago. But the point about Aristotle is, he said this thing about courage. He says, you know, we think that courage is like one thing or another, but he says it's the middle between two things. He says, courage is the middle ground between being so foolhardy that you don't care about your own safety and being so safe that you never get anything done. He said courage is like in the middle between those two. He says courage is like, I'm not going to be so afraid to do anything that I'm never going to take any risks. But it's also not being so brave that I'm going to charge right into danger and get hurt. I think about Aristotle's definition of courage when I think about what it would be like to be in school. Sometimes you might see somebody getting picked on or bullied, and you might think, I want to charge right on in there and stop it. That's good. But you know, you might think that I need to charge on in there with my fists flying. That's not right. Or you need to go into a situation that might not be safe for you instead of telling your teacher. On the other hand, you might see somebody getting bullied or picked on, and you might think, I might get hurt, they might make fun of me, and I better not do anything at all. I better not take any risks at all. I think when we think about Aristotle's definition of courage, we think, there's some middle ground there. That's good. But that's not the last word on courage, because I think that there's a Bible definition of courage too. And I was excited to hear that your scripture for the day comes from Psalm 56. And Psalm 56 says, when I am afraid, I put my trust in you, God. When I'm afraid, I put my trust in God. Upward Sports teaches us that being brave isn't just a matter of planting our feet in the lane and taking the charge. It's not just a matter of always keeping our hands up on defense. It's not just a matter of having the courage to take the shot, even when we're afraid that we'd be embarrassed if we missed. Courage is also about having the courage to be a teammate, having the courage to be a good sport when we lose and shake hands with our opponents and staying friends with them. Courage is about following all the commandments of the God that we put our trust in. And remember, we said if we have courage, it's because it comes from God. Well, God also says, I'm always calling you to be a neighbor. I'm always calling you to be a friend. I'm always calling you to show love, even to the people that I might not want to show love to in this moment. Courage is about stepping up and doing the brave thing in the moment, yes. Courage is about finding that balance between risk and safety, yes. But courage is also about knowing how to be a neighbor, knowing how to be a friend, knowing how to be a brother or a sister to others in Jesus Christ. I want to leave you with one last thought. The word itself, courage, it's connected to a body part. And when I think about courage, I think about my biceps. Check these things out. Oh yeah, look at that. Now that's not really a very impressive bicep. And that's not really the right way to think about courage. And courage isn't about the strength of our arms or having washboard abs. That's what I think. No, courage comes from the word corazon in Spanish or cœur in French. It's connected to our heart. The word courage is connected to the heart. It says when we do something that's brave, when we do something that's courageous, that's a work of the heart, not a work of our muscles. Doing something that's brave means connecting my heart to the people that God calls me to love. Courage is always an act of love. Being brave is always acting out of love, not just mere strength. And courage is about connecting ourselves to the God who loves us so much. When I am afraid, I call on the Lord my God, because God loved me first. When I do something that's brave, I do it as an act of love out of my heart. That's the courage that God calls us to have. That's the courage that God models for us in Jesus. And that's the God we worship today and every day.